Good afternoon, my dear student. Today we shall continue with the chapter 6. As you know, in my last class I already completed that about the remaining portion from this chapter of the rocks and the different type of rocks. They are the uses, characteristics, and the importance of rocks and all the things we have to already discuss. Now today we are going to discuss about the exercise question answers. Just open the page number 50. Page number 50 from this question answer. Now see the first one. Give the reason. The igneous rocks are also called the primary rocks. Why the igneous rocks is called the primary rocks? Because igneous rocks was the first rocks that it came or it formed in the world. That is why the igneous rocks is also known as the primary rocks. Again I repeat that in the world when it formed, that time they formed the volcano only. Those are rocks or the lavas it will come out and they solidified and they form which type of the rocks, that is called the igneous rocks. That is why the igneous rocks is also known as the fast rock, that is the developed. That is why the igneous rocks is also known as the primary rocks. Now the second one. Minerals are more useful than the rocks because the minerals that is extract from the rocks, and the rocks is the hard substance that is present inside the soil, and the minerals is very valuable because it can be used for the raw material also for the different industries and it found in a very less place. So minerals it will be very useful or very developed from the rocks. Now the igneous rocks are also called the parent rocks. Why the igneous rocks is called the parent rocks? Because we know the igneous rocks it already that formed in the past only the primary rocks, that when the world is made afterward these rocks only the fast rock that made is the igneous rocks. Now under the weathering situation or the weathering condition, when the rocks are break down into the small pieces or the small particles, that time these rocks they have to transport it by through the different agents like the wind, glacier or the river, and they deposit as a sediment into the different places of the nearby and they form the sedimentary rocks. And when again the sedimentary rocks it stay or they inside the soil for the long period of time, they get the huge amount of temperature and the pressure and they form the sedimentary rocks. It convert into the another characteristic space rock that is known as the metamorphic rock. So for that reason the igneous rocks is the main rocks, and from this only the others rock like the sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, the other rocks are formed from it. That is why the igneous rocks is also known as the parent rocks. Now the next is the intrusive igneous rocks are the large question. What is the intrusive igneous rocks? First of all, that the igneous rocks when it formed, that will form the two types. That is the exclusive igneous rocks and the intrusive igneous rocks. What is the exclusive igneous rocks? When the igneous or the lavas it come outside in the outer surface, that is called then they form the store and solidify, that is called the exclusive igneous rocks. Now what is the intrusive igneous rocks? That when those are the magma, they not able to come out from the volcano into the earth surface, they have to remain inside the volcano and they solidify and they form the intrusive igneous rocks. And they form inside the volcano, that is why they have the large crystal that been found on it and very large in size also. So this is about the different the reason from here. Now what are the differential from the rocks and minerals? The rocks is the heavy substance, the large substance they cover, and the minerals is the extracted the substance from the rocks. And the second one is those are the examples of the rocks, igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and the minerals is the minerals. Now the third one, that the rocks are not so useful like the minerals, but minerals are more valuable and they useful than the rocks. The seal and dikes, when the volcanic or intrusive igneous rocks are formed, that in those are the parallel wise landform, that is called the seal, and those are the landmass acidic store like the semicircle or the over the landmass is the deposit form, that is called the dikes. And the acidic and basic igneous rocks, that which acidic igneous rocks, those igneous rocks are contain more amount of silica on it, and more amount of silica is present in the acidic igneous rocks, and basic igneous rock there is a less amount of silica is present. And second example, that is first is the gabbro. Sorry, this is the granite is the example of the acidic igneous rocks, and the basic igneous rocks example is the gabbro. Now the next is the lava and magma. What is the lava and magma? When the volcanic eruptions occur, that a few amount of those are the molten rocks or the highly molten rocks that come outside from the volcano and start to deposit over the land masses area, and they known by the name of magma. It's a lava. and sometimes those are the hot molten rocks that present inside the volcano. They are not able to come out from the volcanoes, that is known as the magma. Again I repeat that those are the hot molten rocks when they have to come out from the main substance, that is from the outside of the surface, that is called the lava, and those are the hot molten rocks that are present inside of a volcano, that is called the magma. Now the second difference is the lava, it can store or solidify within a very less period of time, but the magma it take more time to solidify. And the third one is the lava is not preferable, or lava is not easily that you have to make the small type of landform, but the magma made the large type of landforms. And the landforms are like the volcanic mountains are made by the lava, and those are the batholiths. Batholiths is made by the intrusive igneous rocks called the the magma. And batholith and laccolith. The batholith are the landform that is made over the surface of the earth, or over the along the irregular or the undulating forms of the magma, that is from the batholith. And the laccolith are formed due to the among the magma and the bending planes, that is made the laccolith. And what is the thermal and the metamorphism? The thermal and dynamic metamorphism. That when the sedimentary rocks or the igneous rock they stay inside the soil for the long period of time, that can due to the temperature when they convert into another characteristics based rock, that is called the thermal metamorphism. And when those are the sedimentary or igneous rocks they stay inside the soil for the long period of time and they convert into another characteristics based rock, that is called the due to the pressure only, that is called the dynamic metamorphism. So I hope you have to understand up to here. Now just mark out your homework. So these all which one I discussed, this all is your homework. Either under few questions I will keep it that you have to also your homework. There is a number T, F and H. These three it's your homework. Just write down in your copy with the question with answer.